So, a couple of weeks ago, me and some friends were in the city, and one of my friends happened to grow up there. So he was kind of our tour guide. He was showing us around and basically leading the way for the group. And one of the funny moments I remember is we would be at a pedestrian crossing, and it would say, "Don't cross, wait like 10 seconds." And most other people were waiting with us on like the sidewalk, waiting to cross. And me and my friend were waiting there, and we look around for our other friend who's part of the group. He's just not there, and we're like, "What? Did you take a wrong turn or something?" We look, and he's across the street, and we're like, "Bro, the sign said not to cross. Did you miss that?" He was like, "No, like look around. There's no cars coming at all. Look to my left. There's traffic cone. The road is mostly blocked off. I look to my right. There's some dude parking, and he's taking up the whole roadway." And there's no one on the main street that's like turning onto this road. And I'm like, hell, he's right. So we cross the street. We don't think much of it. Maybe like a little laugh, and then we move on. Later, we're on the train coming back home, and we're all talking about our favorite parts of the trip. I say the food was my favorite part. Um, I I just like eating food. Uh, and my friend who's from the area, and who was like kind of our tour guide, he said my favorite part of the city is jaywalking. And the rest of the friend group looks at him. We're like, "What? What are you talking about, bro?" And he explains that it's just something that you don't see outside of the city much. It's kind of like a core part of the city. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fair enough." In the moment, I'm like, "Yeah, makes sense." Then we move on. But later, a couple of days back, I was thinking about that saying. It kind of stuck with me. Jaywalking is my favorite part of the city. And I'm like, why is it that it's only really in the city? And why is it something to like look forward to? Why is it something that's like fascinating? And I think it's more about what it represents. When we were trying to cross the street there, the sign said not to cross. But when we looked at our situation, we looked around, the rule kind of became arbitrary, kind of became unjust. It was telling us not to cross, but there was no one in sight to be seen. And that's why I think jaywalking is, in the city at least, is a very interesting thing that we kind of apply to our everyday life, because we saw an unjust rule that didn't make sense for our situation, and we took it into our hands like in the moment, like right then and there. We did something about it immediately. In fact, after we crossed, there were people that were waiting on the sidewalk with us. They began to cross too. We kind of opened their eyes. They were like, "Wait, it's saying not to cross, but bro, there's no one on the street. We go ahead." And I just found that like so cool. Like we could really apply that to everyday life, because we always tell ourselves that we're gonna do something, and maybe we'll get caught up in planning for it. Like, okay, let's say I messed up my diet one day. I ate like a whole pizza, and the next day I wake up, I'm like, damn, I gotta get my diet together. I gotta get my a workout routine, etc., etc. And then we start planning. We're gonna be like, okay, next week we're gonna we're gonna go biking every day, and then we're gonna go to the gym every other day. And maybe that's fine for some people, but I still think it's fundamentally flawed, because you're creating a gap in between when you have your motivation to do said activity, which is right after I ate the pizza, pretty much, and you're creating a gap in between that and when you're taking your action, which it kind of fizzles out if you had this experience before. When I tell myself to do something later, I usually don't do it because I don't feel like doing it anymore. I've kind of started using, as kind of a side tangent, I kind of started using that for bad habits. When I'm like, damn, I really want a soda, I tell myself, I'm gonna get it later, and then I just end up not doing it because I don't really feel like doing it anymore. It kind of fizzles out. No pun intended. But what I think we could take away from this jaywalking example is that when we see something we want to change, we should take an action immediately. your first thought should be, okay, what can I do next? And then your second thought, there shouldn't be one because you should be doing the action already. As jaywalking example, we saw, okay, I want to cross the street, but there's a sign stopping me from doing so. Well, is the sign make sense? Does the sign make sense? Look around. No cars. Let's that makes the rule a dumb rule for our situation. Maybe not inherently a dumb rule, but for our situation, it makes it dumb. So just cross the street. And I think by applying that to our everyday life, we kind of maybe not get more impulsive because that would be pertaining to bad things, but we can get more actionable with what we want to do, and we'll kind of be like the the guy who gets it done. You know, when you see something, change it, and that's why that saying makes a lot more sense to me now. Jaywalking is also my one of my favorite things that happens in the city. There's nothing else really like it. Now, in the comments, just tell me one if you think that you agree with this and what I'm talking about, and two, also tell me about the new setup. I plugged into my PC instead of using my phone, and still trying to work out the kinks of the setup. But yeah, peace. Hopefully you enjoyed the video.